Thanks for clicking on to this special video on the weekend situation, or lack thereof. I'm going to go into details on why the modeling is not showing the big storm it was showing earlier this week, and what would have to change to produce a big storm this weekend. So this is a little bit more of a deeper dive into the dynamics behind how the storm can develop. All the details on this ice/snow event we had, I have above the video. I'm sure some of you guys saw. Forecast is pretty much on track. Extreme Northwest Jersey did get several inches of snow, over 6 inches. North Jersey got a lot of sleet and some freezing rain. Central and over in PA got a lot of ice. So it was a dangerous situation, but let's focus on this storm. So now this image here, okay, is basically showing you energy in the jet stream. Okay, it shows different disturbances that can potentially come together to form a storm. Okay, so where you see reds and oranges are disturbances in the jet stream. Now notice what we have here, why this pattern has been so interesting over the last couple of months. This is the main jet stream coming in off the Pacific. And notice how it's splitting one branch down here and has another branch coming up here like this. Okay? That's called a split flow. And what split flows do is they produce storms because you have a lot of southern moisture coming in down here, and you're able to have northern moisture come in from up here because it's split in the branch. You have cold air in place because our polar vortex is actually sitting over eastern Canada now, and you have a very active weather pattern. This weather pattern is going to persist, but let's see what's happening and why the storm is no longer being shown affecting our area on the model. So let's move ahead here a few hours. Okay. Now I want you to notice something here. Okay. Here is one of our main features down here. Okay. And this is still on the field. It always was on the field. But look up here. Look at how flat this is. Okay. Earlier in the week, this little disturbance here was actually offshore. So what happens is when you have a storm offshore like that, it actually is able to pump up the jet stream a little further north here. What that does is it slows down this feature here, and they merge. Right now, that's not happening. Look at how flat this is here. Look at how fast this is here. So what's going to end up happening is the modeling showing is this is speeding out in front. This feature here is trying to catch up, but it can't do so until it gets off the coast. So what happens is when they finally try to combine, they're actually off the screen. They combine out here, and the end result is you have a surface storm that's way out to sea. And you can probably see that on the map here. Boom, there it is. You have a storm out to sea. You actually can see here, if I go back a step, you actually see at the surface this is trying to catch this. It just doesn't work. So let's go back to what we just showed. So again, as you guys can see here, we have this pretty progressive nature of this jet stream here that's preventing this from amplifying and catching up with this. Okay, so what has to change? Oh, hold on a second. So what has to change? Well, basically, going back to this frame, okay, this has to be wrong on the model. So the model has to be overstating where this is going to be, and this has to be more to the southwest. Again, that pumps up the ridge. What happens is when you get big snowstorms, okay, I'll draw it for you here. You're going to see this feature here, down here, okay, and the trough's going to look like this. Okay, it's going to be a negative tilt like that. And basically that will develop a surface storm right here and bring it right up the coast. Okay, so the only thing we're missing is this. This is in the wrong spot. We have the energy on the field right here. This is just too flat. And it's a shame because if you look at the upper levels of the atmosphere in terms of high pressure, everything you want to see for a storm is there. So you have developing high pressure here over the Greenland area. You have a low pressure center right in here, which is called a 50-50 low. It's essential for big northeast snowstorms. You can see our split flow in the jet stream actually right here, but again, this is too flat. Okay, this has to be back here, and again, I'll say for the 5th time, so this comes up over the top. It slows this down, it merges, and you have a big storm. But not happening right now, so what do I think is going to trend? Right now, it's very hard for me to say we're going to see a big storm, but I'll acknowledge the fact that it's only one little piece that's missing. So we're still 90 hours away. If that piece is being modeled incorrectly, and it's off by, say, 50 to 100 miles, then watch out, because the potential is there for the big storm. But it really pisses me off a little bit how the media hypes up a storm 7 days in advance like it's in stone that it's going to come, and You know, I have a lot of people asking me, oh, I heard we're getting 30 inches of snow on Sunday. You know, you have to understand it's very rare to get over a foot of snow. Okay, especially 15 inches. I mean, I could count on one hand the number of times it snows 15 inches in 10 years. It's not a very common thing. So many ingredients have to come together perfectly, as I'm trying to show you on this map, to get the real blockbuster snowstorms. Now, storms like we had on Monday and early this winter, those are common. You know, 8 to 10 inches, maybe a foot. That happens in a winter. But to get that blockbuster, everything needs to be perfect. Everything needs to be come together. It's a recipe that has to really be aligned properly. And right now, we're missing one ingredient. So let's see what ends up happening with this feature here. Let's see if this ends up being there, actually is more offshore. And we can see if this really develops out in here. So thanks for checking in. I know I doodled a little bit too much, but I was trying to prove a point. And I'll have updates on any evolutions in this forecast leading up to the weekend.